Welcome back to Sunrise Daily, continuing our focus on the Ogun Investment Forum. We've got Mr. Bimbo Ashiru, who is the Commissioner for Commerce and Industry. Thank you for coming on this morning.
Thank you very much.
I know the last two, you always talk about how much of investment has come into the state as a result of some of this forum, but some of the key questions will be, how are they coming in when they still have questions about power supply?
Oh, well, don't forget that most of these industries too, they've started looking at alternative source of power, which is independent power supply. And that one has helped too because it's actually cheaper. But the point is that you want to start your business, you must ensure that all the facilities that you needed to ensure that you have a smooth growth and smooth operation is there. So most of the organizations, they focus on having independent power supply. And what they've done really is that we have just commissioned one recently. And some of these industries are tapping into it. But in their clusters, they have their own independent power supply, whereby they tapped into that. And for example, some of the companies down the road here, Nestle of this world, Olam, they tapped into their power. And they were able to adjust things then. And it has helped a lot.
Did the state in any way facilitate this? Because I do know that the state is allowed to generate a certain level of power. So did the state invest in that so that those investing in the state can have it easier?
Oh, yes. What we've done is actually to partner with some of these independent power supply companies. For example, we have one that we just commissioned at Jongo, 7 megawatts, and it has really helped. That's what we are using presently. And we plan to tap into some of these companies around here. So the point is that what you need to do is to see how you can generate that power through that alternative source of power, and at the same time, you help. I mean, government has no business in business. All government needs to do is to create that enable environment for business to thrive. And that's what we are trying to do, ensuring that just last week, Shell came in about how they can put in the gas to help all these companies to tap into that. And we are focusing on that. Even Nigerian gas company too, they have that along this corridor. Then along Ewekoro, we have all of them. So the power supply is actually, I know it's key, but at the same time, we are encouraging all these independent power supplies to come in, but they can work on that.
You at some time back, Ogun State was rated, I think, 35th in the ease of doing business and all of that. Now there's been some progress, but how much of progress would you say there's been when you talk about lack of information and poor processes?
Oh, well, I will tell you this. Just yesterday, we went back to World Bank because I know another report is coming back. It's coming out very soon, by September. I led the delegation again yesterday. We met with the World Bank, and I can tell you that we've made appreciable progress in the last 4 years.
And which areas?
In all the 4 areas. Starting business, enforcing contract, and the other 2. So what we have done is...
What are the other 2?
The other 2, we have starting business, enforcing contract. We have the issue of getting permit, building permits, approval, and then the court issue. The court issue, the cases and everything.
What about the sustainability of government policy? Is that part of those?
Oh, yes. You see, the point is that we need to sustain this, and how do you sustain this? Is by involving the civil servants too. Because what is key is that even if we do all these programs, in order to sustain it, we must involve the so-called landlords and landladies. And the only way to do that is to bring them in. And when we went yesterday, we have the permanent secretaries, we have the directors too, who are part of the team. And once we leave, they will be able to set that, because what we have been able to introduce is what they call best practice, open standard. We want to ensure that even when we come in, you've been able to we put in what they call the right standard there, ensuring that when we go, other people that are coming in will meet the standard we've set there, and which is very good. And another thing you just spoke about is the issue of coming from number 35 to one of the best 4 in the country. What we've done is that we're trying to ensure that our strategy is to become number 1 in this country, and the only way to do that is to ensure that we put the right things in place in the right perspective, and that's what we're trying to do.
So what about in terms of tax holidays? Because when they invest so much in getting power supply, how is the government encouraging them in the area of taxes?
Oh yes, the federal government, I was talking to the Minister of Industry, and he was talking about the issue of seeing how we can compensate, or not only on power, infrastructure too, because we found out that some of these companies are willing to partner with government in terms of road infrastructure. I'll give you a good example. In Agbara, for example, some of these companies, they came together, and government put in 70%, and they put in 30%, and we did about a kilometer road. Best road, very good road, towards Hayat. So those are the things that we encourage them to do. But having said that, federal government is now trying to see how they can encourage these companies by, the issue of tax holidays, or try to give them subsidy subsidize some of the things for them, because that's the only way to get things sorted out. I mean, encourage these industries to, you see, there is need for private individuals, to companies to partner with government. Government cannot do it alone. There are so many projects competing for attention. And I will give you a good example too, whereby if you see most of the construction we are doing, most of them are federal government roads. We have over 160 billion that we've spent to fix federal government roads. So doing this, we need to be compensated. We've not been compensated, but we are still going on as a government to ensure that, I mean, we make sure that we make our people happy. And the only way to do that is to ensure that we get these things to be smoothness, I mean, to smooth for them. Because if they don't have seamless way of doing their business, they're going to have problems. And all this infrastructure we are talking about, I mean, is movement of goods and services. For example, if we didn't embark on this infrastructural development, we'll have had problems. Because, I mean, all this moving of goods and services from one place to the other, I mean, something that will take you 5 minutes, 20 minutes, taking you over 2 hours, it will discourage you from investing in government.
I'm just really
state.
curious from what you said in a whole, and I'm wondering, do you actually have a roadmap when it comes to commerce and industrialization of the state? What is the roadmap that you have for, say, the next 4 years that will help to see that level of sustainability and consolidation of industries coming into Ogun State to survive?